So here we're going to do a basic demonstration of the Rotocover product, and this is the one where we are providing insurance for fantasy sports players. So you're in a fantasy sports pool, you buy insurance on your player, and then in the event that one of them is injured, you get a payout. And we've basically created a blockchain insurance product, and we've implemented a number of things like smart contracts that basically automate a lot of the insurance processes, thus streamlining it and making the product more profitable. That's the end goal. So it's all built on this platform called Surety Block that we've designed and we've put together. Right now it has two products in it. It has one which is of course the Rotocover Fantasy product here, and then the other one is the Eagle one. And the Rotocover is the one that is actively running right now. So I'm just going to do a quick demo of that. First of all, we're just going to log in here. And this is at the website at suretyblog.com. Basically, this is set up so that you have what are called, it's really modeled after the Lloyd's market, where you have organizations called syndicates that go in and create insurance products, and then you have insureds that go in and buy insurance, and then you have members which provide capital to fund those risks. So these are a list of the syndicates in Surety Block. Most of these are golf courses here, but the one that we're going to be looking at today is this one. Oops, so let me just highlight this here. Is going to be this Rotocover syndicate here. So we are going to take a look at that. We're going to click that one. It's going to give us some basic information on the Rotocover syndicate, the basic contact information. And these are actually one of the products here, which the main one, which is the Rotocover product. And you'll notice down here we have these things called contracts. These are what are called smart contracts. And you hear this a lot when you're looking at blockchain. These are like self-executing programs that do things. They move money around based on various data inputs. And there are three smart contracts that run on the Rotocover platform. The first one is the address checker one here. This basically analyzes incoming payments and provides notifications based on those payments. These could be like premium payments that are just going into the main address for the syndicate. We have one for adjusting. This is the one that's responsible for actually paying out claims. So it monitors injury data and matches that injury data with subscriptions that people have signed up for or policies that they bought. And then we have player update, and this is a contract that basically continuously runs, and it goes out and it gets information on the various contracts. And we can see here are various players. It collects injury data on them, and it does this on a daily basis. So they're continually updated. As you can see, there are three. They're all running here. So that means that they're running on our server, which is good. Now, if we wanted to go, we're an insured, we want to go buy coverage, so we would go apply for coverage here. First of all, we might want to check out and see what players are available. So we're going to click this here. It's going to give us a player list. And this is the smart contract I mentioned before that goes out and analyzes data. This is this contract here. So basically it goes out, it gets this data, pulls it in, and then it populates these fields in the database with the various injury conditions. So you see guys like Jake Allen. He was injured January 8th. He's got a knee injury week to week, and this is continually updated. And you can see the list of these here. For any one of these players, you can pick one of them here, and it'll, in addition to giving a little bit more information on the injury status, tell you like the number of days they'd be on the injured list. They're not available for coverage, obviously, because now they're injured. And it gives a little bit of news item too. Basically, we pull this from our partner RotoWire, and it gives information on the status of the injury. So we're going to go back and look at a player that maybe that is available for insurance coverage because they haven't been injured yet. We're going to go with, well, why don't we just check Carl here. We're going to go in. Okay, it looks like he's available. Not too much news on him. And we're going to click Insure Player. So I have to input some basic information on the policy information that I want, what name I want the policy in. So I'm going to enter in. I'm going to pre-populate some of these fields here just ahead of time, so it'll save a bit of time. There's the player's name there. We're going to call the name of the fantasy league that we're providing insurance for. So we're just going to call it my league here. Type of league, it's a season-long league, let's say. Effective date, well, let's start coverage, say on the 24th. We're just going to use a token amount for this. All the premiums paid for this are in Bitcoin. So we're going to say, just as a test amount, we're just going to put in like $1, which is a very small amount of Bitcoin here, and payment method obviously is in Bitcoin. So after that's done, we're going to go into get quotation here. The program's going to go out. It's going to give us a number basically on the coverage here. So we have, again, basic policy information on myself. This is my master Bitcoin account that was set up when I first set up the account on this platform. This is where I will be making payment for the premium. So this is my Bitcoin address. This is the balance of the Bitcoin address right here. And then here's some information on the actual policy or the quotation that I'm looking for. It's for insurance on Carl. This is the insured amount. Again, it's just test amount, so very, very small. Here's the total premium that we'll be paying. Here's some basic terms and conditions. The key thing that we're looking for making a payment is this player insured, and that's when there are 60 days on the injury list as a result of an injury. So if they're on the injured list for more than 60 days, a payment is already automatically made. A payment of, in this case, 0.0076 BTC. Again, that's just a test amount. It'll be like a larger amount if you're actually, buying insurance. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to confirm this quotation. It's going to ask me to confirm my password here. Do that. Enter this information in here. And it's going to come back. And so now the coverage is confirmed. And what happens here is the policy has been issued. So it is live. Coverage is in effect. And as evidence of that coverage, I would be emailed a copy of the policy, which is in a PDF format. Here's a version of it here. This is just a very basic template. We're going to put in some other graphics to make it look a bit better, but basically this is the document that's stored. It's just a PDF file. It's created with some basic information, the quotation information, the premium, the amount insured, and who the coverage is for. So we're just going to go back to here again. Now this particular document here, we created like a hash of this document, which is basically like a mathematical digest of this PDF document, and that is this code here. And this is actually stored on the blockchain. So in order to kind of see basically where that would be, that payment that I just made for the premium this is the transaction for this for. So we're just gonna take a look at this transaction here. Now you'll notice here it says that the transaction rejected by node, reason, op return. It doesn't. I'm not sure why. This is blockchain.info is the main sort of repository where you actually record. You can see all transactions. So I can go and I can click. These are all current Bitcoin transactions. Let's see if I can even kind of grab one as they're kind of going through here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. They're going pretty fast here. There we go. Grab one there. These are brand new, so they're unconfirmed transactions. And basically that hash, that mathematical digest that we just recorded, that will end up in this output script here. But for some reason, blockchain.info, until you get at least one confirmation on the transaction, it doesn't show up here. So it takes about 10 minutes on average for a Bitcoin transaction to be confirmed. So if we come back in probably about 8 minutes from now, you will actually see this. And to look at one kind of now and see what it would look like, we're going to go and look at my profile here. Pull up my personal profile information here. And these are obviously a lot of test ones here. This is the policy that we just did, which was done on, here we go, way down here, March 21st. We'll pull up one that was done a while ago, this 43 here. And basically, this is one that was done a little while ago. Here's the hash of that policy, that mathematical digest. And this is being recorded in the transaction. We're going to take a look at that. And here it is here. So basically, that is it there. So this means that document, that copy of the PDF file, the actual policy, was a mathematical digest was created of that, which is a very unique number, a very unique string, which for all intents and purposes can never be. It is mathematically possible to have two of the same ones, but the chances are like trillions and trillions to one. So basically, that means that it's evidence that that document was created at this time, and any time in the future I could go back and prove that it happened. Once it's in the blockchain, it's there forever. And you can see here it kind of says, well, it's strange, it doesn't really understand what it is, because you're adding an additional input that typically isn't used for Bitcoin, but for all transactions that are using things like whether it's colored coins or counterparty, you use this extra sort of field in there. So it's like a proof of existence kind of thing, which is kind of important when you're dealing with blockchain kind of transactions. So this has got all the basic information here. Now the asset that was actually created also as evidence of coverage is the rotocover asset, and this is created. It's like it's a Bitcoin transaction, but it's an asset that's created on the blockchain. So I'll maybe do another video kind of explaining that. Some basic information about that product here it pulls up. And so that's kind of it. Here are the transactions that you can see. This is the premium payment that was made from the insured to the syndicate. So that's the one for the rotocover. So now what happens is this policy then, now it is running on the server. So it will continually going out every day and looking for, it will be this one right here. This contract here is constantly running. Every day it's checking for player updates. As soon as a player injury status changes or is updated, it's recorded, and then this program here, this contract, this smart contract that's running, will continually run, and it will match. If it sees that a player has been on the injured list for more than 60 days, then it will automatically execute a payment in Bitcoin to that insured. So what we've kind of done with this whole program, the whole idea of this is a completely autonomous insurance company. And no one's really kind of done this before. This is sort of the kind of where insurance companies want to go. They want to automate a lot of these processes, from underwriting to adjusting, everything. We've taken a very simple product. Obviously this is very simple, but the key processes, we've completely automated them with code. So there are no individuals running this company. It is completely an autonomous company that runs and is providing this insurance coverage. So right now we're at the stage now we're actually starting to present this and to regulators and this type of thing, and we're hoping that we'll be getting our licensing in place to actually start offering it. There's even some question as to, depending on how we structure it, if we maybe even do it as a freemium product whereby people get coverage in exchange for some advertising provided by a company like RotoWire, then we may even be able to sort of navigate around sort of some of those regulatory hurdles. But I think that this is going to be something based on our initial sort of discussions with regulators, so that this will be a great interest, because it gives them a lot of control over the end product as well, and basically ensuring that the company is always sort of viable and solvent. And another key part of this platform enables other like the syndicate, the guys that created the product, they can go in and they can actually create new products. They can monitor this one. Regulators can go in and they can see like the solvency, the health of basically the company. They can make sure that the capital reserve is sufficient. So it's a very transparent kind of platform when it's all on the blockchain. But the key thing is that the whole idea behind this is we wanted to create the very first fully autonomous like insurance company. The rotocover is one of the easiest products to do it. That's why I chose that one. The Eagle one is that's obviously one we've been working on for a lot longer. It's a little bit more complicated to make it fully autonomous, really just because of the verification procedures and people actually having to verify that a hole-in-one occurred. But we're working on that with using some software that can actually track sort of cameras actually being able to monitor the ball movement on a hole and being able to do some creative things. But this one is ready to go. So certainly on a test basis, we're going to be offering that for the upcoming seasons. We'll be testing it over the playoffs for hockey, going into baseball, but our big sort of launch would be coming up obviously in September. So we're working through the bugs, getting licensing in place and all that, but technically pretty much everything's ready to go. And so that's it. So any questions at all, feel free to, of course, contact me by phone or email anytime. Thanks a lot.